Hello and welcome back to Dutchman and Seb. You join me here today with a very sad garage update. I've been watching a lot of the videos online of all the big YouTubers who have been moving into new garage spaces this January. So I thought it would be nice just to document my own little progress and how far I've come over the years, in case one of these days, who knows, I might move into a bigger space, but that's probably unlikely. So we have actually got 5 cars and most of the problems are parking. So when we actually bought a house, my first request to my wife was that the house had to have at least one garage so I could store one of my cars, because at the time I had 2 or 3 cars already and parking was becoming a bit of an issue. So we live in quite an old neighborhood where you have like garage boxes behind the houses, so that was actually quite nice. So we actually managed to get a garage that was attached to our house, which gives us parking space for 1 car. The other option is that you can park in front of the garage, but that's not really allowed in this country. But seeing as that there are so limited parking spaces in the street, we actually are allowed to leave the car in front of the garage if you own the garage. So I actually park the Tesla in front of the garage, and we have a wall box connector here where I run the cable along the ground and I charge the car at night. So Tesla wall box connector, and the cable runs along here, and then I plug it in at night over here. I've actually got the wife's MX-5 in the garage at the moment now, because I don't want her car to get damaged. She's got a much better, nicer interior and a paint coat. And my Honda CRX Del Sol is currently sitting outside in the rain and in the weather. So I actually had to dig out the garden to make space to put the car in the garden. We have a thing here in the Netherlands where you can actually suspend the license during winter, but that means that the car has to be parked on private property or in a garage. It can't be left out on the street, for example, in public parking spaces. So I actually dug out all the trees and shrubs here. It took me like a week with the trailer during the December Christmas period to actually empty out the garden and take away all the sand and soil to level it out. And I've put the trailer in the garden here that I was using for emptying out all the soil. So I could technically park 2 cars here. I've actually also even applied for permits in the past twice, which were both times denied from the municipality here, to actually apply for my own driveway, similar to what the neighbors have here across the street, where they have like a carport and a driveway. I actually wanted to have like a carport here and a driveway where I could just easily access my garden, drive in from the street and just come into the garden, put 2 cars here side by side, so that you didn't have the issue of having to come out here. So there's actually another lady who parks her car here, and that means that we actually can't use this in and out space because her parking is here. So it leaves me with the garage and a space in front, as well as technically 2 spaces here if I could remove the trailer, and I could squeeze 2 cars in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that the Supra unfortunately goes to a secret location for parking, and I leave it there for winter storage. And the S2K is actually now being moved to Delta Lima Engineering, which is a Honda S2000 specialist here in Amsterdam Hoorn. And he's going to help me finish up that project this year, hopefully, and get it back on the road. So I have 5 cars, 3 of which are at home, 1's in storage and 1's being built. So when all 5 are on the road during summertime, parking becomes a nightmare. So we do have a couple spots here on the street, and these get filled up really quickly, as well as a couple spots here in front of the houses. But everybody in the street is quite old, so they really ask us to try to leave the spot in front of the house free so that they can put their car in front of their door, because they want to have quick access to get to their house. So I respectfully don't leave any of my cars in the street, because I don't want to create a nuisance for anybody in my street. And of course, being sports cars, they're all quite loud and noisy, so I don't start them early in the morning or come home late at night. And I try to be really respectful for all the people in my neighborhood, using the cars maybe once a month or once a week if it's in summertime, going to car shows and meets. So that was my humble, what do you call this, 6 square meters. I think it's like 4 meters, yeah, probably 4 meters by like 2 meters. So let's call it 8 square meter garage space, and that's attached to the back of our house over there. So that's quite cool, and a little bit of a side space here. So yeah, by no means a famous big garage space, and very humble, but yeah, you got to start somewhere, and having 5 cars for me was a real dream. And who knows, maybe one of these days we can buy up some of these garage spaces here and use it for our storage in future. So thanks for watching the video. Definitely, if you like these content, hit thumbs up, and definitely subscribe for more content. I do make a lot more videos in the summertime, so to keep the content fresh in winter becomes a bit difficult. So I hope you guys enjoy it and stay tuned for the summertime. Until next time, cheers.